Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Teaching Hiring Trends Info session with New York City Public Schools. We're going to go ahead and get started in 2 minutes. We're going to get started in 2 minutes. At 5:03, we will get started. Thank you all for joining. Those that are in New York, I hope everyone is nice and warm and out of that horrible wet weather right now. It's pretty bad out there. Those that are just logging in, we're going to start at 5:03. Thank you all for joining. Those that are just joining, we're going to start in about 30 seconds. Thank you. All righty, we're going to get started here. Once again, thank you all for joining. My name is Stefan Murray Delanich, the Office of Teacher Recruitment and Quality with New York City Public Schools. Welcome to the New York City Public Schools Teacher Hiring Trends presentation. This session will be focused on trends and opportunities in education at New York City Public Schools. If you are interested in a career in education, this is the right session for you. So participants will learn about teaching opportunities at New York City Public Schools, including recent hiring trends and areas of growth, gain a high-level understanding of the process to become a certified teacher in New York State, and applying for teaching positions at New York City Public Schools. And then finally, begin to think about your teaching pathway and where you'll have the greatest impact. Now, before we do get started, I do want to just shout out our brand new teachnyc.net website. It was just recently redesigned, and it's a great resource and tool to help you learn about New York City Public Schools, find the pathway to teaching that's right for you, as well as that's where you're going to go to complete your teacher application when you're at that stage. So once again, I want you all to write teachnyc.net down, as this is a wonderful resource and it's going to help you get the application in. Now, before we do begin, just a couple things about the GoToWebinar platform. You're going to use the Q&A function to submit feedback, questions, ideas, and more. And we'll share out what comes in there throughout the session. You'll receive a recording of the webinar after it's over. Then also use the camera function on your smartphone to easily open links via QR codes throughout the webinar. So starting with the agenda, so we're going to go over, do an overview of New York City Public Schools, then talk about recent hiring trends, forecasting opportunities. Then I'll briefly speak about the teacher application process, and then we'll go over some resources and questions at the end. So as we're going through, go ahead and ask questions. We have people in the chat. They're going to try to answer those questions. And then at the end, we'll try to do a couple live questions if we have time. So starting with New York City Public Schools, an overview, I'm going to do a snapshot of the district, the benefits of the career with New York City Public Schools, teacher supports, and opportunities. Starting with a quote from our chancellor, Melissa Aviles Ramos, we have many different roles, but a single shared goal, to build bright starts and bold futures for our children. So when you join New York City Public Schools, you join the largest, most dynamic district in the nation with over 900,000 students who speak over 180 languages and a network of 77,000 fellow teachers. New York City educators have the unique privilege and responsibility to jumpstart the next generation of innovators, leaders, and citizens. New York City Public School students represent a wide range of backgrounds, identities, languages, and learning needs. They need teachers who reflect their diversity and are ready and able to support their learning. Whatever your background, experiences, and skill sets are, there are students in New York City Public School classrooms waiting for a teacher like you. New York City has 1,600 schools that are as diverse as our students and the distinctive neighborhoods we serve, from neighborhood schools with deep roots in their local community to small thematic schools in the performing arts. There are schools with a focus in STEAM, humanities, and there are dual language schools. Whatever your interest or passion may be, there's a school for you. You can choose a school that fits your teaching philosophy and engage with a community of like-minded professionals. Within our schools, teachers build personal connections with their students, colleagues, and families to support relationship building and learning outcomes. And we'll talk later on how you'll find your fit and navigate the job search process in New York City. So New York City Public Schools is always growing, with new schools opening each year. This year we had 7 new schools open up this fall. So there's constant growth and opportunity within our schools. Smaller classes, bigger opportunities. So New York State class size law means opportunities for educators in New York City is only growing. We're hiring thousands of additional teachers this year to ensure our classrooms citywide are in compliance with the law. Once again, lots of opportunity within our schools this coming year. So who are we looking for? So New York City Public Schools is dedicated to attracting and retaining the very best teachers for our schools. We're looking for passionate, collaborative, and committed teachers who reflect the incredible diversity of our student body. Passionate, our team of exceptional educators are passionate about educating urban students, truly believing in the power education can make in students' lives. Collaborative, our teachers thrive on constant learning and collaboration with colleagues. Committed, our teachers go above and beyond for students, understanding students' challenges and embracing their potential. And finally, diverse, we seek teachers who are as diverse as our students and help put our students on the path to college, careers, and a lifetime of learning. And teachers have long-term impacts. Teachers matter most to student achievement, and every teacher drives high school graduation rates, and students carry teachers' impact into their future classes. And finally, graduating from high school can change a life. And some benefits of the career at New York City Public Schools: you make a difference in the lives of your fellow New Yorkers, maybe even those in your local community. Focus on building a better future, using your skills to help develop the nation's next leaders, innovators, and educators, and build relationships with colleagues dedicated to a shared goal. Once again, you'll be joining a robust network of over 77,000 teachers. We also have competitive salaries. Starting on September 14th, 2026, salaries will start at $71,314 for a bachelor's and no experience, and $80,166 with a master's and no experience. Now, teachers' starting salaries vary based on education and experience, and you can also earn additional compensation for teaching after school or summer school programs. The Office of Teacher Recruitment and Quality is unable to predict what your starting salary will be based on your experience and educational attainment, regardless of the teaching pathway you choose. But you can estimate your starting salary by visiting the UFT's salary schedule. That's on the screen. You can just use your phone to scan. Once again, you will get a recording, so you can always go back. But this outlines opportunities for increases based on previous teaching experience, longevity at New York City Public Schools, and educational credits. Now, all teachers begin at the base salary and then apply for salary steps and salary differentials using the salary application system after you begin teaching. I also do want to point out, we get a lot of questions about salary. We do have a recorded salary webinar, salary benefits webinar on our website. I would go to the events page and there should be a section, or it could be in the benefits section, but there is a video on this for those that are interested in learning more about the salary and salary schedule as well, and other benefits like that. So, so if you are eligible for a higher salary due to experience or educational attainment, you apply for a salary step when you begin teaching full-time. So everyone starts at the base salary, and then once you do start, you then apply for a salary step. You can't apply before then. Now, just a couple notes here. If you are a paraprofessional, your years of service, unfortunately, do not count towards teaching salary steps. But if you are a full-time teacher, substitute, excuse me, your experience does count as full-time teaching, but you need to provide documentation and proof of your full-time work. So this slide looks ahead to what your salary would be in the future at New York City Public Schools. So if you're currently in your 8th year of teaching with your master's plus your 30 credits and professional development courses, you'd be at $103,000. If you have 15 years of teaching experience at New York City Public Schools with your master's degree, the same 30 credits, and your professional development courses, you'll be making over $120,000. Remember, this is using the pay scale for the 2025 school season. So these rates are subject to increase with the yearly raises negotiated with your union, the United Federation of Teachers. Now, for any additional salary resources, and here's that salary webinar recording that I mentioned, you can go on the left, there's some UFT resources. We have some resources in the middle, and that salary webinar recording. Highly recommend you checking it out, especially if you're interested in understanding the salary steps. We also have comprehensive health insurance plan. This includes dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Some of the plans require no employee contribution. There's an annual retention bonus prorated during your first year and increases each year. We also have membership with the United Federation of Teachers and enrollment in a pension plan. And then finally, New York City Public Schools employees are eligible for many additional benefits, including commuter benefits, college savings program, and employee discounts at everything from technology and media to travel and education. In addition, scholarships, there's financial incentives, and other special programs that are available for many employees. There's also an exciting loan forgiveness program you could be eligible for as a New York City Public Schools teacher. You might be eligible for the Public Service Loan Forgiveness, PSLF program. The PSLF program forgives the remaining balance of your direct loans after you've made the equivalent of 120 qualifying monthly payments under an accepted repayment plan and while working full-time for an eligible employer. So this is also available to you. Scan for more information. And once again, you will get a recording of this. New teachers also hit the ground running with professional resources and learning opportunities tailored just for them. In addition to the many career development opportunities available to all teachers, we offer robust supports for our new teachers, in-person, online, and in community settings. These include a New Teacher Week, which is new annual event where new teachers can get inspiration from special guest speakers, learn about key policies, engage with the UFT or the United Federation of Teachers, and network with your fellow teachers. There's also school-based mentoring. New hires with an initial or Trans V license are assigned an experienced and trained mentor teacher to support professional growth throughout year one. There's also the First Class newsletter, which is the monthly digital bulletin for first-year teachers that spotlights vetted resources, teaching tips, and answers to common new teacher questions. Teachers in New York City Public Schools, no matter where they are in their careers, also have access to the professional development opportunities at their schools, including coaching, professional development days, and after-school learning opportunities. In addition to school-based supports, optional development opportunities are made available by various teams, including New York City Public Schools offices and the U of T. And then finally, we also have digital resources for busy teachers to find resources for their classroom and regularly stay connected to your opportunities to extend their learning and impact. Now, we had a great video, which is they're pictured here, Victoria and David. Fortunately, the sound isn't working, so we're just gonna have to skip right through this. My apologies. There's also teacher leadership opportunities where you can earn up to an additional $20,000 per year. This is more for the future. You wouldn't be eligible right now, but these are something to look forward to. But essentially, teacher leader responsibilities include leading a laboratory classroom, facilitating professional collaborations, coaching peers and colleagues, and advocating in leadership conversations. To learn more about that, where you can eventually earn up to an additional $20,000, scan that code, and I'll take you right to that. So now we're going to just move into recent hiring trends, a little bit of hiring data, talk about our high-need subject areas and high-need boroughs. So this is the hiring data from the current school year, 2025-2026 school year. So as you can see, 48% teachers that were hired were people of color. 40% of the candidates hired graduated in the past 2 years. So for those who are close to graduation, almost half of the new hires come from recently graduated students. So that's good to know there. And then finally, 23% were certified to teach students with disabilities. That's going to be one of our high need subject areas, and I'm going to showcase that in the next slide as well. So while we do hire across all certification areas and backgrounds, we want to highlight the current hiring priorities for New York City Public Schools. And these priorities can shift from year to year based on the needs of our schools. So if you're not yet certified or considering adding an extension to your certification, these are areas where principals will be hiring and where there's a high demand for more teachers to be certified. We encourage you to consider one of these areas where teachers are in high demand. So as you can see, there's special education, sciences, mathematics, English as a new language, bilingual education, world languages, especially Spanish, and career and technical education. Now, one way you can promote success in your job search in the future is by considering districts, neighborhoods, and schools where your talents are most needed. If you're certified in high demand subject areas, this is especially true. If you are really determined to work here, you should also think strategically about where you're looking for a position. If you want to go where the jobs are, consider teaching positions in the Bronx and Brooklyn. This year, 52% of our new hires occur in schools in these two boroughs. Now, it's important that you find a school that's the right fit for you, but don't exclude schools because they're slightly out of your comfort zone or in a different borough from where you live. Almost all of our schools are easily accessible by public transportation. We have students who need great teachers in all 5 boroughs. So we talked earlier about some of the high need areas at New York City Public Schools. In addition to those areas, there are some areas where we have seen and expect to continue to see a fair bit of expansion over the coming years. And we're going to talk a little bit more about each of these areas. So there's bilingual education, early childhood, plus early childhood students with disabilities, and career and technical education. So starting with bilingual education, New York City Public Schools is committed to serving English language learners across the city, including ensuring support for asylum seekers and immigrant families. This provides great opportunities for you to leverage your existing language skills to support students. Excuse me. If you are fluent in another language, consider pursuing bilingual education. Now, the largest need is in Spanish, with additional needs in Mandarin, Bangla, and other languages. We especially see great needs for dual and secondary bilingual certifications. For example, to teach science in a bilingual high school classroom. So those are some opportunities in bilingual education. Next, we have early childhood. So there's opportunities to teach in different settings, including as a not yet certified teacher, increased need for early childhood students with disability, birth to grade 2 teachers as well. And like I said, there's a chance to teach in different settings. I'm going to showcase those different settings in this next slide. So studies show that children enrolled in quality early childhood are better prepared academically, socially, and emotionally to succeed in elementary school and beyond. This is why New York City Public Schools has made it a priority over the last several years to provide high quality early childhood programs for all New Yorkers. With the goal in mind, our pre-K initiative is currently servicing all 32 districts, supporting 40,000 students. Now, as I mentioned, early childhood teacher candidates can work in one of 4 early childhood settings in New York City. Those are district schools, pre-K centers, charter schools, or community-based organizations, also known as CBOs. And you can see all the 4 settings on this My Schools map. The different settings are represented by different colored hands, which you can see on the right side of the screen. So starting with the district schools, the light blue hands in the pre-K centers. So district schools are early childhood classrooms located in district elementary schools, and there are about 700 across New York City. Pre-K centers, these are standalone buildings that only offer 3K and pre-K grades and classrooms. Now, if you work at one of these 2 sites, you are considered an employee of the City of New York City Public Schools, and you must hold a New York State early childhood teaching certification by the start of the school year to work in one of these settings. Next, we have the charter schools. These are the green hands. New York City Public Schools works with about 15 to 20 charters in New York City that offer early childhood programs. And they usually have their own HR and hiring practices. But this is an option for you as a teacher candidate as well. And then finally, we have New York City Early Education Centers. They're known as community-based organizations. CBOs are independent community-based organizations that contract with New York City Public Schools to provide free early childhood programs. There are 1,200 across New York City. You can see all the orange hands. And each CBO employs its own teachers, and they are not employees of the City of New York. As a teacher candidate, it is important to understand the benefits of CBOs in order to maximize your job search and potential to secure a teaching position. Now, one thing that sets CBOs apart is they're 100% focused on early childhood education. Because of this, all activities, including classroom layout, professional development for teachers, selection of educators, family, and community program are done with young children in mind. They're also known for their small size, family feel, and for connection to their local communities. This allows for a more supportive environment that's really valuable to a new teacher, and allows you to establish and build strong relationships with the families and communities right from the start. So if you already are certified in early childhood, be sure to say yes to CBOs on your teacher application. So that's something that when the application does launch in January, if you are interested in working at a CBO, this is an option for you. And these are just the different early childhood opportunities. So there are many different opportunities for early childhood educators. The left shows all the opportunities for certified teachers. So if you are certified or on track to be certified by September 2026, when the application does launch in January, we recommend completing the application, and that's at teachnyc.net. And then when completing the application, as I mentioned, you then can select whether you would be interested in teaching at CBOs, which will greatly increase your job prospects. Now, for those who will not be certified by September 2026 and are interested in teaching early childhood, we recommend that you complete the Early Childhood Teacher Finder when it launches. With this, you have the opportunity to teach in CBOs as a lead teacher on a study plan, which allows you to teach full-time and earn a salary while completing your certification requirements. For more information about early childhood, please feel free to scan the middle QR code. Now, the third fastest growing area at New York City Public Schools is in career and technical education. So in CTE classrooms, industry professionals teach in their area of expertise to help kickstart students' careers. There are opportunities specifically in technology, healthcare, and business with the greatest needed tech and computer science, where you'll find the most CTE vacancies and job opportunities. CTE also offers certification pathways that don't require prior teaching experience. And you can learn more about CTE on the Teach NYC website. Now, as you are thinking about your career pathway, there are different ways you can use the information we're sharing tonight. We encourage you to pursue teaching certification in a high-need subject area or to obtain certification extension, such as a bilingual extension. If you are fluent in another language, use that expertise to support English language learners and take advantage of all job search supports offered by New York City Public Schools. We host job search workshops, networking events, and send out vacancy lists and more. So now I'm gonna give a brief overview of the certification application process. So there are sessions that are hosted by our office that go into more detail, but hopefully this will give you a sense of what to expect. Starting in January, we're gonna be having what we call our general info sessions monthly. So if you want to learn more about the application process, highly recommend signing up for one of those once we have those posted on our website. But starting with certification, New York State teaching certification is a requirement for a permanent teaching position at New York City Public Schools. Most of the applicants have already earned their certification or will have it by the time they plan to begin full-time teaching. So if you are in a teacher prep program or hold a teaching certificate in another state, you must apply for New York State certification at nyscd.gov, and you should submit your New York City teacher application while you're completing your certification requirements or while you're waiting for your certification. So you don't need to wait until your certification is finalized in order to apply. And once again, that application, our application at teachnyc.net, the application will be opening up, I believe it's the second week of January. So look out for that. So for those who are on track to be certified by September 1st, 2026, as soon as the application launches in January, you can go ahead and apply. And everyone must complete the New York City teacher application at teachnyc.net. So everyone who's interested in teaching for the upcoming school year, you must complete the New York City teacher application. Once again, this is going to be launching in January. Oftentimes, teacher candidates want to know, should you wait to be certified before you apply? To answer that, all teacher candidates should absolutely apply before their certification is issued. Applying before you are certified is recommended and expected. Do not wait until after your certification comes through to apply. This could delay your potential employment with New York City Public Schools. But you'll get your teacher certification through the New York State Education Department. I just want to note here, it's important to note that the New York State Education Department is a separate entity from us, New York City Public Schools. NYCED is the main entity that issues certification. In short, if NYCED says you are certified, then you are ready to be hired under your certification. So you want to make sure, for those that are close to certification, that you're working with your college and university certification office to ensure that you complete all the certification requirements. So this slide here shows the full application process. So when the application launches in January, candidates who are certified or on track to be certified by September 2026 will be able to complete the application. It's composed of 2 parts: common profile and the New York City Public Schools application. Once those 2 parts are completed and submitted, your application is then reviewed by our applications review team. After your application is reviewed and all is well, it is then entered into the new teacher finder, which is essentially a job board showing school vacancies across the city. So essentially, once you're entered into the new teacher finder, you can then begin your job search process. And this is where you go to start your application. So essentially, you'd go to teachnyc.net and you'll see an apply today. When you click that apply today, it's going to bring down this drop down. We're going to see all different types of applications. The application that you're going to be looking for is the certified teacher application. There's also the certified teacher mid-year opportunities. So that is open now until the certified teacher application opens. So if you are already certified or are eligible for internship certificate, you can actually fill out this mid-year opportunities form if you're interested in current mid-year opportunities, so opportunities currently in our schools now. So for those that, once again, for those who are already certified or will have internship certificate, I highly recommend filling out this form. Now, for those who are waiting for the application to launch in January, highly recommend clicking Get Notified. It's going to open up a small survey, which is going to take you to, you're just going to fill it out, and essentially that's going to add you to a list. For when the application does launch, you'll be added to an email list where you'll get emails about events, when the application launches, and things of that nature. So highly recommend filling that out if you haven't. So once again, application is currently closed, but it will open mid-January. And for those who are interested in mid-year opportunities and are certified, you can apply now via the mid-year opportunities form. Now, for those who are interested in CPO, early childhood teacher application, that is currently closed. But when it does open, you'll be able to apply here as well. You also, as you can see, this is an old screenshot, but it's going to have that same Get Notified. So anyone that's interested in teaching in a CPO can click the Get Notified. Now, for those who are in the call, maybe who are currently not in the teacher preparation program, there's also opportunities for career changers. So someone that maybe was in a different field and may be interested in a career in teaching. So the first option is our New York City Teaching Fellows. So it's a high need, essentially we're looking for teachers to teach high need subject areas. You can earn a summer stipend and a subsidized master's degree. And you can start teaching in September 2026. The application is currently open. So if you're interested and you want to learn more, highly recommend going to NewYorkCityTeachingFellows.net/learn-more. As you can see, the first early action deadline is on December 19th. Another opportunity is the Empire State Residency. And that's a 2-year residency where you can earn a $30,000 stipend. And you'll begin your residency in September 2026 and begin teaching in September 2027. And you would apply directly through participating universities. For more info, scan that. And then for those who are interested and just might be not sure if they want to teach or want to learn more, we highly recommend going to the Teach NY resources. So everything you need to become a New York teacher, in one place, and all for free. And then you can sign up to get access. You can get one-on-one expert advice, group coaching sessions, all about becoming a certified teacher. There's also information on New York's teacher preparation programs and pathways. There's also custom tips, how-to guides, resume templates for applying to a teaching preparation program. There's also $100 fee reimbursements when it comes to applying, exclusive scholarships and financial aid and opportunities, and other unique resources. Now to sign up, it's a little bit funky, but it's this link here. You would just type that in. If you have your phone now, just take a picture of it with your phone. You can always go back to the recording as well to see it, but that's how you would sign up. And then now we'll move on to next steps and questions. So first, I want to thank you all for joining us. For those that don't have any questions, this really is going to be the end of the webinar. We do have one more slide, actually 2 more slides. So join an upcoming webinar. So we're going to have we have teaching students with disabilities. So for those who are interested in teaching students with disabilities, also for anyone that is out of state, so anyone that is maybe certified in another state other than New York, highly recommend joining our out-of-state teacher candidate info session to get information about becoming a New York City Public Schools teacher, going through all the processes and things of that nature. Highly recommend that. And then for anyone interested in teaching science, and then finally our language trends and opportunities. So for anyone that maybe wants to teach bilingual education or a world language, or English as a new language as well. So highly recommend these events. If you scan that, it's going to take you to our events page. Keep on the lookout because we're going to constantly have events throughout the season. And then finally, I do want to focus on our Teach NYC Support Center. This is where you can get answers and access to questions anytime, day or night. So we have hundreds of articles covering working at New York City Public Schools. There's things on certification, the onboarding process, and more. You can also, if you can't find the answer to a question, submit a help desk inquiry for individualized support. And then finally, you can follow us on social media. We're very active on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. And essentially follow us and you'll get updates on when the applications will launch, events, things of that nature. So please stay in the conversation and follow us. So once again, anyone that doesn't have any questions, thank you all for joining us. Really appreciate it. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. But we do have a few minutes and I do want to get to some questions. I'm going to bring up Catherine. I know you were in the chat. Did you see any specific questions that maybe could be answered live to kind of help others out?
Yeah, so we were able to get to most of them. There were a lot of questions regarding certification. So I would just reiterate that New York City and New York State are 2 separate entities in this process. New York State is your certification, and New York City is an employer. So you will have to engage with both in this process. And the real first step for eligibility is to be certified in New York State. So if you're interested, that's something to look into and begin the process of, because being certified is required for a full-time position in New York City Public Schools.
Thank you. Was there any other questions? Those are really it. Trying to see, sorry, on my end.
And then, Stefan, could you just clarify if someone has applied in the past, will their process look different?
I think it depends on when they applied last and when they left the system. So it really depends. I'm trying to see if I can find that person.
I think
school
maybe
year.
they applied recently, so they can just sign back in, right, with the same email, I think.
Yeah, they should be able to sign back in then and check you should have access to the new teacher finder. If you don't, I would go to the online support center and then go to contact us and say that you don't have access. Let's see. Someone's asking about deadlines and moving those up. Let's see. Sorry. There's a lot of very specific questions. My recommendation is to go to the online support center so we can get those answered for you. Unfortunately can't answer those very specific questions live. So people are asking about when the application launches. So it's gonna launch in early January. I believe it's the second week of January. As I stated, if you sign up, you sign up to, when you go to teachnyc.net, click that get notified, and it'll sign up and you'll get an email for when it does launch, then we can start your application. So people are asking if there are going to be a lot of career openings for public school special education elementary teachers. Special education is a high need area, so there should be many openings. Someone's asking if teaching fellows is for only high need subject areas. Yes. I would check out the teaching fellows website. You can even just Google it, it'll come right up. And they should show you exactly what subject areas there are. Answer a couple more. Can you apply now for a teaching position? It depends where you are in your schooling. Looks like you're currently getting your master's in early childhood education. I would go to and sign up for the early childhood teacher application. Right now it's not open, but click the get notified so you get notified for when it does launch. I believe that's really, someone's certified in New York, Florida. I would highly recommend, going the wrong way, I'd highly recommend joining our out-of-state teacher candidate info session. So anyone that's out of state, I would join that session. So go to teachnyc.net and go to events, and there is an out-of-state session. I believe it's the second week of December or third week, I can't remember. And we'll have us kind of going through the reciprocity process for getting your New York State license, things of that nature. So highly recommend that for anyone that's not from New York State. Someone's saying, does salary vary between regular education teachers, bilingual teachers, or no? It does not. It does not vary. It depends on the only thing that would vary is if you with early commitment, and that's something that we're not sure. That's one of our deadlines, and I don't have a slide for that. But early commitment is a chance to earn a stipend, and we're not sure what subject areas are and how much the stipend is going to be this year, but that is a way to earn a little bit more in regards to high need subject areas. But more information on that will come. That's what I'm saying, to click that get notified, and we're going to have we're we're going to have more information about our different deadlines, early commitment, and things of that nature.